Have you ever wondered why you aren't further in life? Have you ever wondered why some people can easily choose their next steps or what directions to take and you struggle over and over? It's probably because you aren't using the principle that I like to call reading the room. Now, reading the room is a term you've already heard before, right? It's this idea that you can really temperature check the sentiments in a room or in a group and understand kind of their thoughts without even hearing their voice, right? You feel that energy in the room. This should be applied not only in a business meeting or on a date or around friends, but also in your life when it comes to deciding what path to take, right? Especially in 2025 in our current era, it can feel like you have a million options. I mean, every single day somebody's saying, "Oh, you can make a lot of money doing this," or they're doing all this over here, and it's like every day there's a new opportunity to make money, which I love. I love that for us, but that can often make people more confused. Hmm? Right? Like more confused about what route to take, more confused on what direction to go in. And it just feels like, man, how do I make a decision for myself? This is how you read the room of your life. You get in alignment. I'm always talking about alignment when it comes to aligning your image with your direction. But how do you figure out the direction? You read the room. Okay? So let's say an example here. Okay? For example, let's say you can sing and you can dance. Okay. You do both of these things and you love to dance. It's like the thing you've been doing since you're 5 years old. You love dancing, etc. And when you dance, people are like, man, that's cool. Yeah, I like it. And you also sing. And when you sing, babies cry. People are falling out. People are just wiping tears away. They're calling family members and they're apologizing and they're writing to you telling you that, oh my gosh, this changed my life. Like when you sing, it's just different. You've got to read the room. This is an example, but understand that you like doing both. Maybe you even like dancing a little bit more. Does that mean that you stop dancing? No. Maybe dancing is going to be now your biggest hobby or something to that effect that really serves you and fills you up, right? Fills up your cup. But in terms of deciding how we're going to navigate towards the world and through the world and in the room of the world, it's the singing, my love. In that example, right? Think about for yourself in your life, what have you found has been naturally the place where you have the most impact? Is it, you giving advice to friends where like that's what you're known for? Is it your ability to create connections? Is it your financial skills? Like there's something in your life, and think about your life as the room. There's something in your life that has impacted people so deeply, so richly that they always talk about it, or you can just feel the difference between that and some of the other things that you might dibble and dabble in and enjoy, but just maybe don't get the same responses and reactions. That thing that you're best at, in that example I gave, it's the singing. That is your gift. And if you can figure out how to use some of your gift and decide that on your pathway, then you are going to have the most impact and or the most financial gain in that territory. Okay. So let's say for another example, your gift is financial, right? It's in sales, like just thinking about something financial, right? If you are, let's say, a music teacher because you like music, but like people are just like that's cool, but they're not like whoa. But every time you help somebody with a financial issue, they're like, man, you really saved the day. Like it's like a big deal. You should be looking a little bit more in the financial sector of like, how can I use something that I'm already naturally really good at and clearly impact and serve the world really well at and make that part of your trajectory. Because the thing that you are highly skilled naturally at, if you can find a way without ruining it and spoiling it for yourself to use that as like career, or like even if it's a side thing that you do, or writing a book on it or whatever, that is your lane, that is your room where the people will cheer for you the loudest. And when they cheer for you the loudest, they're going to want encores. They're going to leave tips. They're going to go back and tell their friends because you've impacted them, because you are in your lane, and the room says, yeah, like that's definitely his thing. That's definitely her thing. And I say this because I'm always talking about alignment, right? Aligning your image with the message or the service or the product or the business or yourself, putting yourself out to the world. But sometimes that can be a little wonky because you're on the wrong lane. You're focusing on the dancing. The people want the singing. That's what they are going to be lined up around the corner for. And you want what people will be lined up around the corner for. Trust me, you'll want that because people will pay more. And you'll raise that ticket price and they'll keep paying it, right? Versus the thing that you're kind of like good at, mediocre, you keep raising that price, eventually they're going to be like, I don't know. You keep putting on the shows and you might find that people aren't really coming as much, or their attendance isn't growing, or something is off. You got to read the room and see, like, what do people really seem to enjoy from me? Where am I the most impactful? And how can I use that to my benefit? And once we make sure we're on the right path to reading that room and on your track and deciding what you want to do out of life, and you add that image on top of it, honey, unstoppable. You will be absolutely unstoppable. One of my last videos, I gave an example of Sarah Jakes. There are so many other people who they get their image to be in alignment with their message and their power and what the people were reading the room for them. I mean, earth shaking. And I want that for you. Now, I hope that was helpful. Now, I'd also love to help you with your personal style if you are ready to get in alignment with your goals and your vision. I've been a personal stylist of over 10 years, and in order to help you get there, we're going to work together one on one. And it all starts with a consultation. Go ahead and send an email to contact@acreativecliche, and we'll take it from there. Toodles.